Man, it has been a busy week. This is the Monday edition of Corbet's Corner. Matthew Cruzin, I'm Dylan Corbett. Football dominating the headlines. Do want to encourage you to check out today's Corbets. We had Christos on. He was our guest better for today. First time we've ever met him. He's a delight. Knows some stuff, his stuff too. So it was a real treat. That's on all of our channels, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you name it. So check that out today. And then also do want to say that we are going to be releasing a new podcast tomorrow. It'll be dropping tomorrow. It is called Winging It with myself and the Platts brothers. So that will be a long-form pop culture podcast that is on the docket for tomorrow, and you can expect that every Tuesday. But, of course, every Monday we will buy and sell some NFL stock. And first, I do want to hit some NFL headlines. This was the game we were all watching last night, right? We got some free football. Overtime between Seattle and the Cardinals. Boy, that NFC West, it's now the NFC West, the lowest team in that division is now the 49ers at 4-3. That is more than 2 games ahead of the current leader of the NFC East, the Eagles. I mean, and one of them is going to make the playoffs, and unfortunately it's going to be from that garbage division. But that was the game, I would say, of the week, Seattle and the Cardinals. Just one thing I want to get off my chest right away is, oh my freaking God, DK Metcalf. That was one of the most incredible plays I have ever seen, just feats of athleticism I have ever seen, where he turns on the Jets, catches a guy, Budda Baker, who's not slow, and it looked like something out of National Geographic where a large predatory animal is just chasing down this guy, and then they didn't even end up scoring. It was crazy. The Cardinals had so many different chances to win that game. They eventually did, but just a wild ending. Matt, are you buying or selling less on the I lost my train of thought. On the Seahawks, or was that just the Cardinals maybe in fact legit?
That whole division is legit. I heard that live yesterday when the Niners were about to put away the Patriots. They said, they're going to win this game now. Every team is guaranteed to be over 500 moving forward. That division, they're just all going to beat each other up. It's honestly going to be really interesting to see who comes out winning that division, getting, the 2-3 seeds, just because they all got to play each other, and that's their toughest games. I'm still high on Seattle, obviously, but yeah, Arizona showed a lot. Kyler Murray is very good. He still makes the bad throws. That pick right after they got a pick was horrible, but a few times he's out in space, and he's like a cheat code running the ball.
Yeah, speaking of cheat codes, I mean, so DK Metcalf didn't have a good game statistics-wise, but he stole the show by running 100 yards and chasing a guy down. I've never seen a human being like that. He almost looks like Myles Garrett playing wide receiver. Who would you compare him to? Because I don't think we've seen a receiver like Metcalf since Megatron, Calvin Johnson.
That's exactly what I was going to say. He's Megatron who runs a 4-3 instead of a 4-4. He's a receiver unlike we've seen before. Like you said, didn't put up the receiving numbers yesterday, but he literally he didn't save the game because they lost. He almost was the reason they won the game simply from that play. I knew as soon as he caught him, they were not going to give up a touchdown in that drive.
Crazy.
I thought that, they might hold him to 3, which still would have been a huge play, 4-point swing, but you knew they were not going to give up a touchdown after that play. That's just how sports work.
No kidding. And I want to transition to kind of the larger point of that I feel like we're watching a whole new game. Before it was Brady, Manning, tall, sturdy, white guy in the pocket. Now it's get the ball out quick. You don't want to take a sack. We're making human beings now that I don't think it's like we're engineering them in a lab. DK Metcalf, Myles Garrett. The game is changing. And so you played the under tonight in a parlay. And Nick Saban made this comment, I think it was a couple weeks ago, where he said it's not about defense wins championships anymore. It's barely about can your defense hold the other team from 30, just because that's how the game has changed. Look what happened to Matt Stafford yesterday. I don't know if you saw this. He got lit up by A.J. Terrell out of the secondary. Totally clean hit, except not in today's NFL. Protect the quarterback at all costs. It's not you can't hit him high, you can't hit him low. It's protect the money. You just can't hit him hard, which is so frustrating for a defensive player. But what I'm trying to get at is the quarterbacks are getting the ball out so fast. They are so accurate. Look at Russell Wilson last night dropping in dime after dime to Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett's looking like he's Jerry Rice. I mean, it's all about the offensive game now, and it must be really frustrating for a solid defensive team like the Bears.
Right. Yeah, the game has changed immensely. That's why it's so frustrating as a Bears fan. We still haven't found a quarterback who can just do what, you would think the quarterback position is almost evolving to a more simple position with what you're saying. Get it out quickly, get it to your playmakers.
It's all about scheming. Exactly. Scheming up Tyreek Hill to get open.
Yeah. So you like to see it as a fan perspective, more points, there's more entertaining, plain and simple. So
yeah, it is interesting. Again, it was the game of the week. I would say last night. I'm gonna miss Mountain Time, man. I miss Mountain Time Zone, so I was still in bed by 10 o'clock last night and got to see a great game. I feel bad for people who live on the East Coast, like our guy Christos originally, right? Because I used to live on the East Coast too, and it was just a nightmare. You got to wait until 7 for every single game. All right, so yeah, that kind of wraps up my point. You're still high on the Seahawks. I am as well. I think the Cardinals kind of just jumped into my head as, okay, maybe this team can be legit. That was a big home win as a 3.5-point dog on prime time, right? Prime time stage. Okay, now to misery. I'm immune to it. The Falcons. I'll admit you, it was a wedding. I had an outdoor wedding and then a reception Saturday night. I was driving from Minneapolis, many of you know. So Sunday was a rough go for me. So I'm, obviously watching the red zone. I'm kind of in and out of a nap. But of course, I had to wake up from my dozing off to hear, and he's rolling left. Hawkinson, touchdown! Of course, the Falcons lose with 0 seconds left on the clock. I'm immune to it. This franchise is cursed. This franchise is a joke. They can't win games. So I just chalked that up. I didn't bet the Falcons because I knew that line's scary. I told you they were going to whoop the Vikings bleep, and they did. But I didn't like that against the Lions. Now I will tell you, we're going to hit them Thursday against the Panthers. But it was just another heartbreaking loss, just unbelievable. The Falcons were you even surprised they lost that game?
No, as soon as Gurley's blunder, that was just the most pathetic thing. It's like he fell limply as he knew he had gone too far. We knew that was going to happen. It was going to come down to the last play. It always does with the Falcons, and frankly, it always does with the Lions too.
Yeah.
I do have to disagree with hitting them on Thursday because I actually already placed the Thursday night bet on.
What's that line? I haven't even looked.
My Panthers -3 at even money. I think McCaffrey's going to come back. Panthers big time.
Carolina at home?
Yes.
I would retort with just look about how the Panthers have done with McCaffrey versus without. So I might take the Falcons +3, and they might win that game. Here's another point: I don't pay guys money. Odell Beckham, Christian McCaffrey. I mean, you look what the Steelers are pooping out at receiver every single year. They poop out wide receiver stars, and I think it's just all about finding people in the draft and then getting that quarterback to where you could pay him Patrick Mahomes money.
I agree. It's always tough paying certain guys so much money because it just depletes your team. I mean, look at the Vikings; they paid
no
12%
kidding
of their money into Cousins, and it completely reconstructs your rosters in ways you don't want to. But I am willing and ready to put the Christian McCaffrey. The Panthers are better without him narrative to bed. They've now lost 2 without him. They just happen to play three easier teams to beat when they won those first 3 without him.
That's fair.
They're better without him. He'll come back. He'll go for 200 all-purpose on Thursday night.
I think that's going to be an offensive. I think it's going to be a great game. I'm actually pumped. I'll be watching that fully in effect there. So let's see here. Let's transition to your Bears tonight. They've got the Rams. You're on the Bears. I took the Rams -6. I'm playing just a bounce back. I faded the Rams last week, so that's my usual thing. Is now I'll take them this week. Bears have been solid, but again, continuing to get just absolutely zero respect.
Zero respect, but that's okay. I would rather it be like that. Big matchup in the trenches today. Aaron Donald, we know he is a generational talent, a generational game changer, game wrecker, and he will be going up against a very weak Bears offensive line. They either can't run or they can't pass block or they can't do both, but it certainly have not pass blocked well, run blocked well, all at the same time. So look for him to wreak havoc, especially with their Bears left guard out for the season. So they'll be weak there. Jalen Ramsey will trail Allen Robinson all over the field. We'll see what Foles does on Sunday night. They always start slow. Every game this season, the Bears have started slow against the Giants. So we'll see if they can, get off to a better start offensively. The thing that keeps them in every game is the defense. They don't let other teams, score very often. They're more of a bend but don't break defense rather than just shutting, choking you out and not giving you anything. They've given up yards in some big plays, but they found ways to get the stops when they mattered. So
on that note, how do you think Goff's going to do tonight against the Bears D?
Goff has been absolutely horrific against the Bears in the last two times they've played on primetime. The game 2 years ago, that was when the Rams were 10-1 coming into Soldier Field on a Sunday or Monday night. The Rams scored on their first drive and did not score the rest of the game. That was the 15-6 game. So I don't know what it is, but they have Goff's number. I think a lot of it is, getting pressure up front, having quick linebacker to cover the backfield and Roquan Smith. So yeah, we'll see there, but look for them to turn him over 2 times. If the Bears turn Goff over 2 times or more, the Bears will win.
I think this is going to be such a crap game. I'm on the Rams, so I'm hoping for like a 17-10 win. But yeah, I agree with everything you're saying about Goff. I think he's going to have one of these games where he's building up a lot of yardage, but maybe throws a pick or two in the red zone or on the wrong side of the field. Maybe gets a touchdown here. And I don't expect Foles to do anything. Again, I think he's going to have trouble with Donald, who likes to show out on primetime as well. So that's a pretty solid Corbett's Corner right there. Again, it was a jam-packed NFL weekend. And again, we're getting set for another big sports week as well. The Dodgers, that kind of got lost in everything too. Maybe we'll just wrap up on that. How about Kershaw rewriting the narrative, so to speak? Is he gonna have to come in for 3 innings to get the World Series MVP, kind of like what Bumgarner did? Or is it, is he going to come out of the bullpen? Or are his 2 wins in the World Series going to be enough?
His 2 wins in the World Series will be enough.
So is this going to be a sentimental World Series MVP for Kershaw? He's been good. He didn't dazzle, but he certainly was better than the normal Kershaw we see in these spots.
No, it's not sentimental at all. I mean, to me, when you win a series baseball, 4 games out of 7, if you're starting pitcher and you win 2 of them, then you are automatically the front runner to win the MVP unless you have a hitter that's just going off. But their whole lineup has been so balanced, so that's kind of a product of their own environment. Every hitter has contributed in different ways, so there's no one that stands out in the lineup. It's actually an easy call if you have one starter wins 2 out of 4 games.
The Rays offense has disappeared. What the heck happened to Austin Meadows? I was watching that 9th inning, and he came in for Renfroe, and all he did was go 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. I mean, the offense is disappearing, and again, credit to the Dodgers. Is it going to be Snell? Have they named the starters for the game 6 tomorrow?
Snell tonight, and then Dodgers haven't named yet. It'll be Snell tonight, and then if there is,
are they playing on that? I thought they were tomorrow.
It's tomorrow.
Okay.
If I said tonight, my bad. Game 7 would be Buehler versus Morton.
Gotcha. And do you have a prediction? I think it's going to be Dodgers in 7.
I think they get it done in 6. Dodgers in 6.
I like that. Yeah, it's going to be huge for baseball because, again, we kind of almost forgot about it. All the headlines and, ESPN's just going to feed you. Football Sunday eats up college football Saturday. It's going to eat up the World Series game. But I think game 6, or if we have a game 7, which would be Tuesday, Wednesday, right, that's going to do a huge number, I think, even though the ratings haven't been that great. But I've been watching. I've been enjoying. I know you have as well. He's Matt Cruzen. I'm Dylan Corbett. That wraps up Corbett's Corner. Again, check out Corbet's today. We had a new guest better, Christos from L.A. It was a lot of fun with him, so check that out. We're getting you set for Monday Night Football. And, of course, here on Corbett's Corner, wrapping up the football Sunday and the weekend of sports. Winging it coming tomorrow with the Platts brothers and myself. We're back on Corbett's Corner on a Wednesday, and Corbett's, of course, our daily sports betting podcast, wherever you enjoy your podcast, and YouTube as well.